Alright, I'm going to be showing you a few different ways to apply oil pastels to a piece of paper. Oil pastels and chalk pastels can get a little bit messy, so just make sure you have some sort of paper towel nearby to wipe off your hands and things like that, because the powder substance does get kind of on your hands and it will get on your paper if you touch your paper. I'm going to be showing you a few different techniques to apply this. You can use these techniques when you are creating your art. So the first few techniques are going to be pretty simple techniques that you guys know of from when we added value. So let's go over those quickly. The first technique that I'm going to be showing you is hatching. Okay, so when we hatch, we just follow the shape of the item or thing that we're coloring, and we're just creating lines that go in one direction. Okay, so you can hatch with these as well. If you wanted to get a little bit fancier, you can also cross hatch. So just doing the same thing with hatching, but you're adding an extra layer of almost like a grid on your paper. Okay, you can hatch with the same, you can cross hatch and hatch with the same color, or you can use different colors. It's up to you. Okay, the next technique is using the flat edge of your oil pastel or your chalk pastel. So a lot of the time when we apply chalk pastels, we use like the pointy edge, right, like a pencil. But if you want, you can also use the flat edge to create this kind of technique here. Okay, obviously if you have a larger piece, you'll create more of a color in a larger area. If you have a smaller piece, it will be a little bit smaller. This creates a nice texture, so if that's something that you are interested in, by all means you can do that. Another way to add oil pastels or chalk pastels is through a technique called short strokes. So essentially just creating small lines with the point of your chalk pastel can add some really nice textured strokes. Okay, that's another option. As you know, stippling, one of our favorites, obviously. When we stipple, we're just creating dots. Okay, so you can create small dots like so, or you can make larger circular dots when you stipple. You don't have to stipple, as I said, it's just an option. Okay, the last two techniques are a little bit more, I would say, probably what you are going to be more interested in, which is layering and blending. Okay, so when we are blending colors together, try to pick colors that are similar in color, or that they like are next to each other on the color wheel. If you pick like something like green and red, obviously those are complementary colors, so they may not mix well. But if you pick something like a green and a blue, or a green and a darker green, they will mix and blend better together. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to take my green, and I'm going to start to apply the color here. Okay, and let's say I want to blend it into a darker green. What I am going to do is I'm going to take the darker green, start to apply this here. Okay, and after I do that, I like to just use my finger, kind of blend some of those colors together so that I have this nice gradation of going from light to dark. Okay, remember, this is why it's important to have either a paper towel on hand or some sort of napkin, just to like wipe off your hands if you do want to use some like your fingers to blend things. Also, if you have the color white, you can also blend. I don't really have a white exactly, but I have this like peachy color. You can also blend things using a white or like a light peachy color together as well. That makes a nice blending technique as well. Okay, another technique to use is layering. Okay, so I always usually start with the lighter color whenever I'm layering. So whatever color that may be, remember, pick colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. Okay, so I'll start doing that. And then what I'll do is I'll actually start to layer some of this color on top. And I'm going to create like this really nice effect when I'm layering these colors on one another. I can use my finger to blend. It's up to you how you want to apply your colors. So these are just a few different techniques when it comes to using oil pastels or chalk pastels. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create and how you apply your chalk pastels.